Don't resist. Your muscles are bunched up, aching with tension. Release them. Let them flow like gentle streams, like distant seas. We must break your body to win your mind. We must break your body to win your mind. We must break your body to win your mind. We must break your body to win your mind. We must break your body to win your mind.
Hey buddy, this is Max Lake, playing a Gamecube. I'm here with John. This is a Nintendo's pre-press conference breakfast. We did not expect this. There's people from the media all over the place. People up there, they're taking registration. It's kind of the free food is definitely good. Yeah, look at the spread. We got all kinds of different juice. We have soda pop. Coke, yeah. We have coffee. All kinds of stuff. So this is the pre-conference breakfast, and we'll have more in a second. This is Nintendo's, where they're holding a press conference, the Grand Wilshire Re-Wheel Hotel. Nintendo is doing this in style. It's the media briefing. And this is where the breakfast is taking place. We're at the press conference. It's pretty chaotic. The pushing and the shoving and the hurting and the hey-hey-haying have all been good. We're just chilling out, getting some footage. The Gamecube is on the stage. Get a good shot.
Pre-show thoughts?
Yeah, pre-conference?
Well, I've got 3 diapers on right now, and I think I'll need a 4th.
Okay.
This is going to be mass insanity, as usual.
Yep.
I must find my seat.
Okay, dude. Good luck. Ask some good questions.
I think we're ready to get underway. I'm Peter Main, Executive Vice President, Nintendo of America. And with me this morning on my right is Mr. Satoru Iwata, a member of the Nintendo Board of Directors and the head of all Nintendo planning worldwide. Mr. Iwata will be making some comments in a few moments. We intend to spend the next hour showing you the very best of the next generation of video game consoles. And then we're going to take your questions for about 30 minutes, take a very brief recess for those of you who have other deadlines and events to attend, and we'll carry on with further Q&A for media and analysts for perhaps up to another 30 minutes. This unquestionably is an extremely exciting day in the history of video games, and Nintendo says that with the perspective of over 20 years of exciting days in interactive entertainment. Let me start out this morning by saying that Nintendo is absolutely convinced that both Game Boy Advance and Nintendo Gamecube are going to be huge, and I underscore huge, marketplace successes, no matter what any other manufacturer is planning to do. This is due both to the superior nature of Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo Gamecube and the games that play on them, but it also is supported with the strategies that underlie them. Inside Nintendo, we often refer to the Nintendo difference, the line you see above me. And at this show, we're going to go public with what that means. It's essentially 4 components. First and foremost, a tight, non-stop focus within our company on innovation. Secondly, an absolute fetish for quality. Thirdly, the creation and ownership of world-famous franchise characters And of course, fourthly, an incomparable heritage of smash hit proprietary game development. Today you can look at the worldwide video game business as basically having three components. The first of those, of course, is that true mass market for console gaming, including first-time players, pre-teens, early teens, and a growing number of parents, and all those older players, all the way up to those really old people in their 30s and 40s. This, by far, is the backbone of the business, over 80% of the tonnage, and an area that Nintendo has traditionally had a stronghold on. The second one, of course, is the targeted console market aiming at the avid players in their late 20s, or late teens and early 20s. And we may have been a little less aggressive with this group in the past, but as you're going to see here today, and on the show floor starting tomorrow, Nintendo clearly has this game in their game sites now. And then finally, of course, there's the handheld sector, a full 25% of the worldwide video game business, and the only segment, I might add, that has shown growth over these past 2 years. And as you know, Nintendo just doesn't have leadership in this area. We have absolute ownership. If there's any doubt about the future of this category, it's been answered with Game Boy Advance. In Japan, as you know, we launched on March 21, and in just the 5 weeks till April 30th, we have sold through an incredible 1.6 million pieces of hardware and 3.1 million pieces of software. It's an absolute smash hit. And get ready, America, because here it comes on June 11th, just 26 days from today. We already have pre-sale orders in excess of 200,000 units. We're set to deliver 500,000 pieces on day one and another 500,000 in the 2 weeks following that. And while that probably is not going to meet full initial demand, Nintendo is planning on shipping 24 million pieces of Game Boy Advance to retail in the first 12 months following its launch. And of course, our launch software in America includes our smash hit Super Mario Advance and F-Zero Maximum Velocity, along with another 15 to 16 licensee games. And all of that supported with a fully integrated launch budget of some $20 million, fueled with over 10,000 displays already installed at retail throughout the country, incredible promotions, saturation TV, print, online, outdoor, all under the marketing banner of Life Advance. But I know the real reason you're all here today is the worldwide debut of Nintendo Gamecube. We think to fully explain the import of Nintendo Gamecube, we'd like to spend a couple of moments first expanding upon the strategy which underlies this phenomenal new product. So I'd now like to call upon Mr. Iwata.
Thank you, Peter, and welcome everyone. All of us at Nintendo who have been working on the Gamecube project over the past several years are excited to be able to share the magic with you today for the first time anywhere. Nintendo has strong views on how we should run our company. We consider ourselves, above all, a game-based entertainment company. We believe other people who make video game systems see themselves first as technology companies. This is an important distinction. I, myself, before coming to Nintendo, worked as a game designer and then as an executive at a Japanese game development company called HAO. I learned a long time ago that in our business, it is almost impossible to create a game that catches up with technology even if 20 people are working together without a day off. This is because the technology you start with and the method you use certainly will be outdated by the time the game is finished. Among the first projects I designed was a game for original Nintendo Entertainment System, the memory for that game cartridge was 64 kilobits. By the time Super Mario 64 arrived for Nintendo 64 5 years ago, cartridge memory had multiplied by 1,000 times. Today, some game graphics already are as realistic as television. There is not much more designers can do to impress players only with pictures. Here is another problem. In our industry, games look too much the same. There are a couple of reasons for this. Independent developers need to spend millions of dollars to create the best 3D graphics. Then, if they succeeded in making a hit game, they try to repeat that success. How? They make a sequel. Not like the first game, and then and to pay back their big investments, understandably, they market all these sequels on every major platform. And while this is happening, many competitors are copying the design of that one hit game. So we have identified 3 clear trends. Too much focus on graphics over real entertainment. Too many sequels from a few hit games. And almost every hit game playing on every console. As a result, what lessons are we teaching our customers, our players? We think these often do not trust what you see. Because a game which looks good on a TV ad or in a store may not entertain you for very long. The hardest thing is to entertain. Next, there doesn't seem to be anything new. Everything looks too familiar. Boredom sets in. And finally, it may not really matter which machines you choose. They all play the same games. And if that happens, console makers find themselves in a commodity business, like TVs or VCRs. There is no reason for players to choose one over another except for price. With all this, it is little wonder that players can become frustrated, and this is dangerous to our industry because people do not need video games to exist. If they become too bored, they will just go away. At Nintendo, we feel an obligation to fight these trends. And how do we do that? With what we call the Nintendo difference. In our minds, the Nintendo difference has 4 legs, or foundations. The first is innovation. Our goal is always to do something different, something no one has thought of before. In truth, some of our inventions work better than others, but we never stop trying to innovate. Mr. Yamauchi always tells me we should achieve something that brings fresh, surprise, and joy. I like that.